Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Maths Club YouTube channel Maths Club, a free YouTube channel. I am Professor Deepanjan Kumar De. Today I am delivering another important lecture of multi-programming operating system. Multi-programming operating system, that is type of operating system already discussed in my previous video. So this is one type of operating system, that is multi-programming operating system. So I'll discuss here multi-programming operating system point wise, and lastly I will give a real life example, then you will understand very nicely. Okay. So first point I am writing, that is it is used to overcome the drawback of batch operating system. Here CPU will not be idle. In batch operating system we had seen that CPU will be idle, but in multi-programming operating system CPU will not be idle. That is the overcome the drawback of batch operating system. So we can write point wise, it is used to overcome the drawback of batch operating system, the drawback of batch operating system, that is here CPU, that is here CPU will not be idle. Central processing unit will not be idle. Okay. The main idea of multi-programming is to maximize. Next point, the main idea of multi-programming is to maximize the use of CPU. CPU will use maximum use of CPU, that is CPU utilization is more. Okay, will not idle. That is, understand, the main idea of multi-programming is to maximize the use of CPU. We had seen in batch operating system that CPU will be idle, not maximize use of CPU. Okay, but here CPU will be used maximize. Okay, complete utilize, that is we can say complete utilization of CPU. Since here, because why complete utilization? Since here CPU is not idle. Okay, not free. That is CPU always busy, never idle, as long as jobs are available. CPU always busy, never idle, as long as jobs are available. The application of multi-programming system like Windows. This is the one of the application of multi-programming operating system. Now another point I am discussing here, that is when one process needs to wait for I/O, when one process needs to wait for I/O, input output, The CPU can switch. The CPU can switch. CPU can switch to other process. Switch to other process. Other process. When one process is executing, when CPU send it, when CPU send it for IO, then CPU will take another process from the operator. Okay, so this is use of, this is one of the use of complete utilization of CPU. Less waiting time. Here another point is less waiting time. Less waiting time. Less waiting time. Time is very less. Increased throughput or efficiency. Efficiency of throughput, you can say. Efficiency of throughput is increased. And other point, here the processes or jobs will go into CPU one by one. Here the processes or jobs will go into CPU one by one. And other is, it is non-preemptive. I'll discuss this point wise. Now I'll discuss point wise. That is if I take an example, then you will understand very clearly. Like P1, P2 are the processes or jobs. Here I am giving an example. Like these are the processes, that is RAM. This is the RAM. It contains the processes. This is P1, P2, P3, P4, etc. This is secondary storage. This you can say it is a secondary storage. When from second, this is, you can say, secondary storage. It is secondary storage. From this secondary storage, when one process is coming into CPU. This is suppose CPU. One process P1. This is suppose P1 is coming into CPU. This is P1. Process P1 is coming into CPU. Okay, for execution. Okay, for execution, process P1 is coming. CPU will take the process P1, P2, P3 according to priority. Okay, the CPU will take the processes P1, P2, P3 ... according to priority. In multi-programming operating system, only single CPU is used. It is another important point. Only single CPU is used. Only single CPU is used. Here, when P1 comes into CPU, then when the process P1 comes from secondary storage comes into CPU, then CPU send it to IO operation. Send it to, this is IO operation. Send it to IO operation. That is P1. Then P1 comes into IO operation. That is P1 will not here. P1 will be here. The process P1 will be here because CPU send P1 to IO operation. P1 is sent to IO operation. By this time CPU is free, but it is not free. Immediately after sending CPU, after sending P1 to IO operation, then CPU will take another process that is P2. Then here P2 will come. Then here P2 will come. This is P2 is coming when P2 is coming into CPU, when CPU send P1 for IO operation. By this time CPU becomes CPU will take another process immediately. P2 will come into CPU for execution. That means CPU does not become idle. This means that This means that this means that CPU this means that CPU does not become idle. CPU have, that is CPU here does not becomes idle, always busy, that is always busy. Then for IO, after completion of IO operation, then P1 process will again come back to CPU for execute. So this jumping of CPU from one process to another process is called context switching. The jumping of CPU from one process to another process is called context switching. Very important. What is context switching? I already discussed in a separate video for context switching, and again I am telling here what is context switching. The jumping of CPU from one process to another process is called context switching. So the context switching operating system can do better use of IO text, IO input output, IO task. Okay, in context switching operating system can do better use of IO task. Okay, CPU will take the remaining process one by one from where it has left earlier. Okay, it has left earlier. So this is the process. This is the way that multi-programming operating system works. So just I told, one by one process is coming into CPU. When CPU send the first P1 is coming, when CPU send for IO, then immediately CPU will take another process. But in batch operating system we are seen, when CPU send it to P1, CPU send it to P1 is sending to IO operation, then CPU will not take P2. By this time CPU will be free. Here that was the drawback of batch operating system. Here we are overcoming this drawbacks of batch operating system. This is multi-programming operating system. Now I am taking a real life example of batch operating system. That is, suppose a real life example for multi-programming operating system, that is hospital management system. In hospital management system you will see the patients are forming a queue, that is P1, P2, P3. These are forming a queue. Then entering into doctor's room one by one. Here doctor is CPU. Be careful. Here doctor is CPU. So first patient P1, suppose first patient P1 is entering into doctor's room, then doctors may refer for blood testing or urine testing. Then P1 must wait for blood testing. During this time the doctor may allocate the next patient P2, P3 ... by this way. So lastly P1, P2, P3, P4 again come back to the doctor. So these are the processes that P1, P2, P3, P4 ... Pn, all processes will execute one by one serially, but doctor will be busy all time. That means patient, after when doctors take patient P1, then P1 is sent for blood test or urine test if necessary, then immediately doctor will take another patient. This is the real life example of multi-programming operating system. It is non-preemptive. Be careful, it is non-preemptive. And next I will discuss the multitasking operating system, or you can say time sharing operating system. In my next video I will discuss multitasking or time sharing operating system. Till then, bye bye. I think you understood very nicely, so keep watching, sharing and commenting this video. Till then, bye bye. Okay, thank you very much.